Yay! And we're live. Hello, everybody. We are joined today by our siblings for a little sibling chat. First of all, everyone in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, how you're doing today. TJ and Steve here from the Nearly Deads, of course. And on your screen right below me, you're going to see Steve's sister, Sarah. Everybody say hi to Sarah. And then underneath Steve is my sister, Amanda, which you guys may or may not recognize because she's a true diva and she butts her way into everything I do anyway. So thank you guys so much for joining me and Steve today and chatting with us. How are you guys doing today?
Are you talking to us?
Talking to Amanda and Sarah.
Oh, hey. I'm great.
Hey.
I'm great. Thanks for having us on. This is fun.
What about you, sis?
Am I allowed to speak or am I too big of a diva?
I'm okay. Sorry. Now there's already drama. This is what you guys signed up for.
No, I'm good. I'm a bit of a zombie today. Staring at a computer screen all day, I think, just like Sarah. So I'm glad to be staring at a computer screen again, but with cool, fun people.
It's different.
It is different.
It's a little bit more casual, right? This is not like a business Zoom or something like that.
It's a hangout.
Yeah.
So
on Zoom, and so what's the other one? Google Hangouts? Is that what everyone's
there's
doing?
so many. There's WebEx, there's all of those. Teams, Microsoft Teams. There's all of those. Yep. So I want to, Dano says, cheers from Poland. He's watching on Twitch. And Natty Attack says, Franz and fam, ? Yes, these are our sisters. Welcome them. Please be nice. So why don't we start with, we'll start with Sarah and then go on to Amanda and just introduce yourselves. Tell everybody like where you're streaming from and just a little bit about yourself.
All right. I'm Sarah. I'm Steven's younger sister. The second sibling of 3. I'm calling in from California, from Venice Beach in my front yard, and stoked to be hanging out with the zombie crew.
Yay. I'm so jealous of the palm trees there. It looks like amazing. Look at that.
It's pretty cool. I'm blessed.
So since we're doing fun
blessed.
introductions and fun stories, Sarah, and 2 things. One, since we're a band and we have a lot of music fans watching, they're also kind of nerds. Our fans are nerds. Say your favorite band, but then why don't you tell everybody about that cast that's on your leg? Give them the behind the scenes story,
Okay. So my favorite band, that's really hard.
Top 3 or something. Just throw out.
Lately, I've been. It goes around so much, but lately I've been jamming to the Stooges and the Cramps a lot.
Okay.
Nice.
That's my go-to. Yeah, I love them. And it's I like it because it's fun music to like. I skateboard, and so that's how I hurt myself. I like listening to them when I skate. So I just did this a couple days ago.
Oh, and, wow!
And on Friday, on my way to Mexico, and I completely broke my leg in the skate park in San Diego. So I'm a cripple today.
Oh, you broke your leg, like it's broken.
Yeah,
that's like a huge deal.
Yeah, I still haven't seen a doctor. They don't know how to get me in there, even though I pay health insurance.
Wait a minute. How do you know you have a broken ankle or a broken leg? And how do you have a cast on if you've not seen a doctor?
I went to the emergency room and they like put this temporary brace on me, and they're like, you need to make an appointment with like an orthopedic doctor so they can like decide if it needs surgery or just to be reset. And it's been like pulling teeth to get in there, but I think I finally have an appointment tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be a fully functional sister soon.
You know what I really love is that a lot of the people that watch this podcast are not from America. And they would be like, what do you mean you haven't seen a doctor yet? Like, are you kidding? Like, what is going on? And like, we've had conversations with them about like the healthcare system and stuff like that. Like, we don't want to dive too deep into like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're always like, how does this or that work? Like, we don't really understand why it's like this in your country. And we're just like, let's break this down for you.
Let's get real serious into healthcare. But actually,
Clearly,
we sort of had the similar thing, because I remember one stream, we have a fan in Canada, and he had the similar situation as Sarah, where he said he broke his leg or arm or something, and it took him like almost a month to be able to go. Like, it took him like 2 or 3 weeks to actually get something done in Canada for his broken arm or leg. So
yeah, I know there's hope. There's hope. But so I'm sitting here. This is like why it's nice for me to come outside too. It's been hard getting around.
Dude, do they have you on like drugs, or do you have crutches? Like, how are you getting around?
I have crutches, but I'm actually really excited. I was doing some internet perusing last night, and I think once it's less Tinder, I can get one of those sick like kneeling scooters.
Awesome.
Which I plan on fully decorating, getting like a wicker basket, like painting it. And I also found that they make peg legs.
Oh.
So
for people with
I'm gonna
broken
get
legs?
a peg leg. Like, yeah, it's like it's like a crutch that only exists like the bottom part, and then it has this flap that goes down that you kneel on and you secure it to your leg. So it's like you can walk around with a peg leg.
Oh, Sarah the pirate.
Really considering it.
Sarah the pirate. I love
you
it.
need a hook. It'll make me think of, everybody's seen the GIF or GIF of the cat in the costume that's got the pirate hook, and it's like walking up. That's what it would look like.
Little like pirate
and
hook.
If the streamers and listeners can't tell, Sarah is clearly the more active sibling in our family. Like, she's always surfing and skating and like breaking things, whereas I tend to do more barely moving activities. But we have a family vacation coming up, and it's in Asheville, and so Sarah decided to break her leg before. We're probably going to do lots of hiking and walking to breweries and things like that. So
I'll get a wheelchair and you can wheel me around like a princess.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad that you are in good spirits, making the best of it. Obviously, hope you get to see the doctor soon, and it's not too serious of a break, and you're healed up in no time.
I'll point out one last thing, Sarah. We have a friend, Natty Attack, who's in Europe, and he's from Wales. And so Natty, our grandmother, is Welsh. She was a war bride, and my grandpa stole her up and brought her here. So
yeah,
we have a connection to Natty Attack over on YouTube.
That's
awesome. We actually, this guy on my sailing team is Welsh, and I know more Welsh than him. We discovered that out last night.
Nice.
Yeah, Nina would be proud. It was exciting. Anyways, that's cool. Right on. Hey there.
All right. So moving on to my sister, Miss Amanda. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us something gnarly about yourself?
Oh, fantastic. Did she say skateboard, sailing, hiking, breaking legs? I'm officially the least cool person on this call right now. But my name is Amanda. I am TJ's older sissy, so I'm the oldest. And we have a little baby sis too, and I don't know if she's able to watch today, but we love her, Lauren Sky. But yeah, I live in Kansas. I live on Lake Perry, Kansas. I would be outside so that I could like brag about my view of the lake, but it's like super windy and raining right now. I also have a dog that looks just like Toto. So yes, Wizard of Oz, Kansas, in the middle of the country. We have an Aunt Dorothy. I have a dog that looks like Toto, and definitely living that stereotype life. I am newly promoted, just really excited about a new job. Don't have any idea what I'm doing. Same company for a long, long time, but a new role, totally different. I have a degree in theater education. So when we talk about like favorite bands, I'm like basic as hell. Am I allowed to swear? I don't know.
No, you
Yeah.
like you yeah, you can swear.
Do you
I
know
am
your sister?
You like
I think I taught her, but like, no, I'm basic as fuck when it comes to music. Like, I'm not cool. I don't listen to like new bands except for like the Nearly Deads or like whatever Teresa sends me. She's like, listen to this, or like Steve posts about it online. So truth be told, the last concert I went to, which was life changing, was Billy Joel at the Royals Stadium. Dude, it was amazing. It was I spent way too much money on tickets. We were super close, and of course we're in a ballpark, so when we didn't start, the fire came on. Like, they had all these flames on all the like signs, and it was insane. So great show. If you guys know who Billy Joel is.
Yeah,
everybody knows
that's
who
it.
Billy Joel is, Amanda. Like, that's badass.
I know you guys do, but like, I don't know how young the people are that watch. But anyway, so
Like
love Billy
the
Joel.
kids who are like, oh, that was really great that Post Malone could get Ozzy Osbourne out there, you know, give him a bump. You know,
like
those kids
like,
might
thank
not know who
God.
Billy Joel is.
Right, that's it. So, but yeah, I don't really have, I don't know anything gnarly. I don't even know if I've ever used that word before, but I will say that my husband works for Budweiser. So we get a
Sick.
lot of fun, awesome, like moments, you know, games. We get to go to Royals games and stuff pre-COVID, and just really, really fun stuff. Actually, my husband did break his ankle not too long ago, and they told him there's nothing they can do. Like, just put on a brace and let it heal. And I'm like, he's literally training these drivers to deliver like heavy loads. So there's not like resting for him, and it's just like manual labor every day. So nothing gnarly about me. I've never broken a thing. I'm not really active. So pretty boring.
It says you're not
No,
boring.
That's
you,
not boring at all.
no.
You do theater and you sing. That's pretty
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I haven't. It's so shitty because we haven't been able to do anything.
Like,
I'm
no
so,
shows,
like,
no
the-
performances, no theaters.
no performance. No, you
Yeah.
can't go to shows. You can't be around people. And like, we did, like, Sis and I, we did our Christmas thing. We did Christmas caroling. We attempted.
That was a
I
fucking
love
hot
that.
mess disaster, but
It was. We didn't realize we couldn't sing at the same.
no, yeah, the
But,
whole
like-
lag thing. Like, we're like, oh, we'll just sing together, and it was horrible.
No. So it was just a bunch of a cappella solos with my drunk friends, which was awesome.
That's another really
But-
good title for the stream: acapella solos with my drunk friends.
Yeah.
That's a side
That's
podcast.
that's the
Yeah.
new side podcast.
Yes. Like,
Somebody had to.
But yeah, we tried. We tried. It just sucked. So my next performance is actually February of 2022, and I'm like dying because my last performance was in 2019, or no, it was 2020, right before, or right after we went to Miami, sis, right before the world shut down.
Yeah.
So it's been over a year since I've performed live, and it's killing me. So, yeah.
I mean, it's honestly been probably just as long for the Nearly Deads, maybe even longer, because we kind of took a hiatus.
live.
Like live, yeah, we took a hiatus, and then COVID hit, and then it was like halfway through COVID, we were all just like, hey, are you guys bored? Do you want to like
What's that?
do stuff again?
Circle one, yes or no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it's rough seeing everybody, all these bands are now starting to go out and tour again. And I'm just like, man, like we're not on top of it because we're working on new music and we want to make an album, and we weren't really touring anyway. But now it's just like, man, now it looks like everybody's out there having fun and doing all this. And we're just like, no, like turning down shows, like not doing anything until next year. So we'll have to see like what the world looks like and what it looks like for live music. But I mean, things are kind of coming back to normal. Have you guys been to like any like shows? Like things are pretty weird, right? Like
Yeah, I haven't been to a concert yet. I have like me and my friends definitely as soon as they started selling tickets, the day like that started, we bought a festival ticket for September and a concert ticket for like October.
Nice.
And we're just holding on to them but we were just worried that everything was going to sell out like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so angsty to go.
Oh, they have been. Like
Yeah.
a bunch of the festivals I wanted to go to were sold out, or at least the affordable tickets. So
yeah. So I mean, I'm super excited. I even like Venice lately has been doing like Wednesday nights. The golf course has like local live music, which I don't care who the band is. I just want to be outside and hear live music.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
They do stuff like that in my town too. They're about to have like a Wednesday night like thing in the town common, so that'll be fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hailstorm's having a secret show somewhere. Like the Buzz won't announce where, but they are giving away tickets. I haven't seen any concerts other than just going downtown and cover bands playing at the bars and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, Nashville I figured would just be like concert crazy already.
Yeah, I mean,
there's concerts going on in Nashville all the time. I think
gone through. Yeah,
I follow a lot of the venues on Instagram, even though I don't live there anymore, and it's just like concert. Like that's like a main source of livelihood for a lot of people in that town. So as soon as they could do it again, they were just like booked solid. Everyone's anxious to go out.
Yeah, pretty all cool. The growth and money here was from that and tourism, the Bachelorette and all those kind of things. Like Broadway is very big on that. And so during COVID, obviously you couldn't do anything because they shut down all the bars. So that was the huge source of the income. And the mayor was like, hey, I'm going to hike up property taxes. And everybody got pissed. Like the whole town was like so mad and like doing all these like petitions and boycotts and like voting this and that. And so he was just kind of like, ooh, maybe I should roll this back. It's like, yeah, it sucks that we're not making money, but y'all closed the bars down. We didn't do it. You can't punish us. Like,
yeah.
But anyways,
they didn't really have a choice when it came to the pandemic and closing stuff.
Right.
It's not like
it's like you can find the money somewhere else.
They were getting money from the government.
No.
Yeah. Or they're supposed to.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I have a serious question.
Okay.
Who's the better singer, TJ or Amanda?
Oh. Ooh. Probably Amanda.
Us sisters are throwing in questions.
No, that's an easy question because Sis and I, although we have a very similar tone, we have different strengths, right, Sis? Like we talked about this a while ago. You have, and even though you have you've really grown into your belting and like your rock voice, but you studied opera. I want everyone to know that my sister has a degree in like opera performance. Am I making that up, Sis? Am I drunk?
No, I mean, but that was 10 years ago, and I've been in a rock band for 10 years, and it's not like I have the operatic kind of like range anymore. I wish I did.
You definitely, you're more knowledgeable when it comes to like the composition piece, the musicality piece, and like the like thought behind it. And I've always just been musical theater, like. So like, I mean, if we're gonna sing Nearly Dead songs next to each other, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, right? Like if I'm gonna cover Hailstorm, people are gonna be like, what? Actually, my high school boyfriend, remember this? He used to say, stop musical theatering everything. Like I'd like you remember?
Do musical theater everything. I appreciate it. So Amanda goes on this tirade and is like, well, here's a checklist of all these reasons that TJ is talented, but she's not saying I'm more talented than she is. And my literal answer, yeah, right. Equal. We're equally good. My first answer, I was like, Amanda. Like,
this was the test.
I was like, Amanda's the better singer. Like,
I think the musical theatering everything is funny and like musicaling it, and I think that's much better than like me and our first drummer Corey. We had this thing that we would do where we would Nickelback everything, so it's just like I'm going to the store, gonna get some cereal. Yeah.
And Steve,
Well, that's more
I knew
Metallica,
that.
but you know.
No, I seriously, but there's this old sketch on Mad TV. Nobody remembers this television show, right? Because it was on the air for like 4 days.
I do.
Remember Mad TV?
Oh, Mad TV
Right.
was like Stewart, Miss Swan, like so many icons.
So
Icons.
This sketch is in my head, and they talk about that voice, and it's like the Nickelback, and then the Calling, and then Pearl Jam, and they're, for some reason they're all on rowboats, and they're like rowing into the scene, and they're like man, and then they're like, no, we did it first, like no, the Calling does it, and then Nickelback's like, no, fuck you, man, and then Pearl Jam comes in, he's like, and then everybody gets blown away because some dude pretending he's fucking Ray Charles, and like this is in my head. Anytime I hear any one of those, Ray Charles comes in, it's like, no, I started that voice, you idiots. Anyway, so you're welcome for that random memory.
Yeah.
Hey, we love tangents on this show.
That's the basis of the show, is to go off on tangents.
I'm gonna look up that skit.
That sounds hilarious.
I haven't looked in years. No, we have to all Google it, right?
Yeah.
Just Google it.
Oh my God. So like childhood memory fact about that show, my dad had a little TV in our garage, and it had the two dial buttons on it. And one was for the tens and one was for the singles. And when my parents would go to bed, I'd go down to the garage and sneak that TV up into my room just so I could watch Mad TV. Because if I went to the school the next day and didn't know like what skits were on the night before, my friends would like make fun of me. And I don't know if mom and dad know that I used to do that or not, but we were not allowed to watch a lot of TV as kids because we
were very sheltered. But this kind of ties into what we discussed last week when we were talking about Napster and CDs
ruining
and
the
stuff.
parents' computer.
Yeah, Mad TV was one of those things. On Napster, I would download the Stewart skits and like different Mad TV ones. Because honest to Pete, sucking on a monkey's teat. Stewart.
Oh my God.
Look what I could do.
I
so
love
good.
that. Okay, so I love that Sarah used to sneak a little TV into her room. That kind of goes along with this first question, which was like, what's something that you did for the other that the other sibling had to cover for, and how did you cover for it? What was the lie? To Steve,
tell everybody who asked the question.
Oh, it's from Derper. For one of our patrons, one of our lovely patrons. If you guys are on the Patreon, you get to ask the questions and we answer them on the podcast. It's pretty sweet.
Ooh, snazzy.
I don't think we ever like covered for each other. We pretty much did our own thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I did a ton of shit, but you also never knew about it.
No? Maybe.
Like
I could tell the one story, but I feel like we would more throw each other under the bus if we found something out. Like, not like, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like especially
like if
we were
I got
kids.
blamed for something, I'll be
Sissy
like,
did it.
oh, that was fucking Teresa.
That was not me. Oh shit. No. Oh, you're talking about when I ate and then I drank the vodka?
The vodka! Oh my God. Okay, so mom, okay.
Wait,
no,
don't go into
rewind.
too many personal details. Let's just keep it short and sweet. Like,
Let's just say that there was some missing adult beverage, and I got blamed for it because I was an
she
adult.
was the older sister, and
and it was not me.
Our parents sat us down with like the bottle, right? And like if you,
it was Bob. It was step and mother.
Yes. They sat me and you down, and they were like, we're not going to leave until somebody says who drank this. They showed us like the half empty bottle and was like, somebody's been in this, and they 100% thought it was you. And I was just like, I don't even know when. I don't even know when I admitted. I could have taken that to my grave.
And like thinking, have I had friends over? Was it one of my friends? Because literally the last person I thought was you. But like, I was like, it's not me. Like, I was an adult. Like, I feel like I was already 18, granted not drinking age, but I feel like if I was going to drink, I I was in college. I had a job. I was gonna buy my own stuff. Like I just was so like, but I'm like, who do we have over? Was it this person? Was it someone from the theater club? Was it, what? No.
And, it wasn't really a lot. Like, it was just me being a kid and being, like, bored.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, like, a big deal to me, but it was really hilarious that they 100% thought it was you because you were kind of like, I don't know. I mean, up until I moved senior year, I was, like, incredibly preppy. Like, don't you agree? And you were not necessarily.
I have sweater vest photos. Yes.
Oh, we were both. Of me. I remember you. Do you
I
guys
did have a
remember?
sweater vest.
Do you guys remember when everybody wore sweater vests and like the fucking
Like
button down underneath it?
That must be a Kansas thing.
Yeah.
It's too hot in Florida for sweater vests.
Yeah.
Well, what about
Oh, I suppose.
I mean, what about like rugby shirts for guys? That was also a big thing, like rugby shirts and khakis.
Oh yeah.
That was hella preppy. Polo shirts and khakis.
Double polo.
Oh no. God bless.
So you had the two collars, like the two colors.
Did you pop them both?
Oh,
I mean, I don't
God.
think I did that. I just remember it.
Yeah, polo shirts and like khakis. Everyone was wearing khakis and everything had to have a belt and everything was like low rise.
And your bangs.
And I had bangs. Well, I still like I had
they were like a little burrito up there.
I used to take
Mine went like right down the middle. Somehow they didn't come all the way over.
mine were like this and solid because they like it could hurricane and like they would still be there. Like I would take a curling iron, like a wide barrel, put my bangs on it and curl them and then spray them with hairspray while the curling iron was still on them.
Spraying.
Still on there.
And then when I
Very
got
90s.
Nowadays when I look at like my old high school pictures, I'm always like, my hair looked great. It was all worth it.
Oh man.
Okay,
Man,
so that's our
that turned
story.
into hideous fashion. Sarah, you I feel like of the two of us, did I ever have to cover for anything for you or you cover for me that you were?
I don't think you ever covered for me. You just didn't talk. Stephen was an angel child. He had no interest in doing anything that he wasn't allowed to do. He was like super mellow with his friend. I mean, Stephen and I were super close. We hung out with all the same people. And I guess by the time, like, I don't know, I was coined the rebellious child and he would not defend me. He'd just be like, well,
yeah, it's
so.
like I didn't cover for you. I just played like stupid, like I don't know.
Like whatever.
I wasn't there.
I definitely covered for, I guess the only time I covered for Stephen was when we got older. I was, I guess a senior in high school or a freshman in college, and our parents had bought a new house, but hadn't moved into it yet. And so they let Stephen live in there while they hadn't moved in yet. And so he had this whole empty house to himself. And it was like, what band were you in then? Was it?
That was Danger Flight.
Oh, Danger Flight. And they would practice there. And Stephen would throw parties at this house that belonged to my parents. And I would not say anything, but mostly because I wanted to continue to party there. But that's like, I think you didn't start doing things that mom and dad wouldn't approve of until like we were older.
Yeah, I waited. See, that was my plan, is I'd be like really good early on, so they would have no reason not to trust me. So then by like senior year in college, then I could do whatever I want and they would just believe anything I said. But
yeah, they thought he was perfect. Stephen can't do anything wrong.
Those parties actually were what like motivated me to move to Tennessee, because I remember, I don't know if you remember, but I remember one of them was around December. It was like November or December, and you're partying late. It's 3 in the morning. We're hanging out on the back patio, and I remember just sweating from humidity. And I'm like, why am I sweating at 3 a.m. in November? Like, I need to get out of this hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you were pretty good. Yeah, I can't think of anything major. I mean, you got a tattoo when we lived in Riviera, and I didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, my first tattoo. I don't think I took my shirt off for a year. Like, we had a pool and everything, and when we went to the beach in the pool, I still wore my shirt.
Which made sense because you were kind of dorky, so nobody questioned it.
All right, you guys, we might have to do a be right back real quick because we have to deal with something.
I just texted you.
Hold on one
Let's go on
second.
to the next question.
Just go on to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told Steven about this. I've got to grab a delivery I just saw him pull up. So I'm going to let you guys chat and I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna put us all on a be right back. So everybody who's watching, give us like a couple seconds, and we will be right back.
I took care of it. All right.
Hey everybody, we are back. We had to go take care of some. We had to go take the trash out. So we're back. We're back with Sissy. Oh, let's go on to the next question. So for anybody just tuning in, for people who are kind of in and out of the stream, thank you guys so much for watching. And we are here with our siblings today, so it's right in the description. And we are taking Patreon questions because everyone on Patreon was very interested in like hearing these like childhood stories about siblings. So I think it's really awesome that our sisters joined us today. And Sarah is picking up a delivery right now, but she'll be back in a hot second. And so for now, we are with my wonderful older sister, Amanda. And wave, sissy. And what are we going to do? The next patron question?
Yeah, let's do all the patron questions.
Okay.
So the ones I texted you, I guess we can go on to Matt's first question.
Okay. From Matt, what's the fondest memory you have of each other from childhood?
That's
cute. Damn it. I mean,
yeah, that was a sweet question.
I'll go.
Okay, go.
It's like every memory. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but like, I don't know. Like, we were what, 23 months apart, sis? Something like that. So like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like we went to school together, and so, I mean, we grew up together and got to do all the fun things. But there is this video, if it still exists, of you and me on Easter Sunday. Do you remember this, sis?
Mm-hmm.
At the Botanical Gardens in Wichita, Kansas. And we're sitting in our little Easter dresses. And Dad is like forcing us to sing a song from church that morning. And we were like, yeah, we don't want to. But then we started singing. And then we got a freaking crowd around us.
I don't remember this at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite memories.
It's like a real life musical.
Yeah, like there's birds, like hummingbirds and flowers, and like, sis, you were like little though.
I don't remember that at all. Right, I remember going. I remember going to the Botanical Gardens a lot, though. I loved it, and I remember wearing my Jetsons t-shirt. That's like literally, but yeah, we have a lot of like fond memories as kids. Like we went on family vacations a lot.
Sorry, I have props.
Amanda has props. Maybe she has like some old photos. We should have had photos ready.
Oh,
yeah.
Look how cute we are.
I don't know if you can see that with the reflection.
We are too cute in our little pink numbers. I made you that frame too, sis.
Yes, you did.
I think so
TJ
cute.
can always post some family photos in our Patreon Discord.
Patreon, yeah. I'll post some old family photos. I think that'd be super cute.
We'll get some ones of Josh. He's the cutest as a kid.
I know. I wish Josh has a couple siblings.
Steven was the coolest. You know, he had his spiky blue hair and his chain necklaces.
Oh my
God. Somebody was talking about phases and something the other day, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I was such a like turncoat. Like I had so many different phases of just being like, I think I'm this now. No, I think I'm this now. And it wasn't just like I'm gonna listen to different music. It was like each phase had a different genre of music I listened to, a different activity I did, and a completely different wardrobe. Like it was like I had to start fresh each time, send everything to Goodwill, send all the AND1 and Nike stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where'd all your basketball stuff
now go to the thrift store and PacSun and buy all the cargos. But anyways, Sarah, while you were gone, TJ read the next question, and we need to let TJ finish answering, but basically it's fondest memories of each other. It was a sweet question. So continue, TJ.
I wish I could think of like one singular moment where I was like, that was really, really fun. I mean, when we did the family road trips, we definitely like used to sing together in the backs of the car, like in the back of the minivan. And like, so I guess that would be a pretty fond memory of just like singing together on the family road trips, singing along, like we had like our little Broadway tapes or whatever they were.
On our little
actually no, you player. Know we had Tina Turner too. We would like sing to that.
Oh, I put on a Private Dancer the other day, and Travis was like, "This is music my mom listened to," and I said, "This is music everybody's mom listened to, and it's wonderful. So you better just take a beat, and you better know."
And
I'm
we,
your
you know what?
private town.
Another thing
handsome-
that we used to do when we were really little is we used to go walk and explore together. Like, remember behind our house there was a house that was like abandoned and we like broke into it?
Yeah,
Do you
we
remember
broke
that?
into that house. Yes.
And
Oh my
like
God.
we would go in the sewers
like
or
a
like go on long bike rides.
clubhouse.
Yeah. We had what
So fun.
didn't we have a name for our club or something? We were like, we're gonna go on an adventure, and like we had a specific like name for it. I can't remember though.
That sounds right.
Right? You know, like you want to go to
Yeah.
Adventure Time right now, and then we would just like leave because like
Sis, you're gonna, you know that I'm a closet, not so closet hoarder. I'm pretty sure I still have the key to the house. We didn't break into the house like break a window.
no,
I know,
it was
Trace
open.
your face.
It was just
There-
open.
Because so in 1991 there was a really bad tornado that blew away half of our neighborhood, and in our school and like all this stuff. Welcome to Kansas, right? So like it was a pretty like the deadliest storm. You can Google it. It's a whole thing. But because this entire neighborhood where the airmen lived was blown to bits, and we lived on an Air Force base, it was blown to bits. They redid the housing, and the housing was really, really nice. And these like the officers and the sergeants and the master sergeants' houses were like these little boxed, like brick houses from the 50s. And like the airmen get these brand new houses. People started to protest. It was a whole thing. And so they decided they were going to tear down our neighborhood, and we had to move. Like they're like, okay, we're going to rebuild all these houses. And if you want, we can put you in a little shitty box down the street. Or, you know, we ended up just buying a house and whatever. But like they had already started moving families out, and they were redoing, or like they were getting ready to demolish that house, remember, sis? And like it was just wide open. So
There was stuff in it, but
there was stuff in it. But it was like fixtures,
empty.
mirrors, light bulbs. I'm pretty sure we've maybe smashed some light bulbs.
That's always fun.
It was
Yeah, so
fun.
those were fun memories. We used to kind of like we were like exploring buddies.
That's a sweet memory. We broke into houses and smashed things.
Yeah, totally. So Steve and Sarah, what do you guys have to say?
I'll
on
let
that
Sarah
one?
go first because I have a fond memory of Sarah, and I'll have to first get permission to talk about this one. So you go ahead, Sarah.
Well, I mean, okay, I have two. One's from when we were really little,
Okay.
and it's just stupid and silly, but when we were really little, I used to go into Steven's room, and we both had like our favorite stuffed animals, and we would play this game where we'd sit on the edge of his bed with our feet hanging over, and we'd hold the like stuffed animals between our knees, and we'd grab their ears and pull their heads up and like twist their heads around and like make funny noises, like, and we would just crack up laughing.
Oh yeah,
at,
would like distort their face, kind of
Yeah.
like for anybody to
it's
get a
just
visual.
so stupid.
If anybody on
Everybody-
here has
yeah.
ever played Mario 64 and the load screen, you could like grab his nose and stretch it and pull on his face, and it was make his face look stupid. It was basically like the stuffed animal version of that.
Yeah, and we just loved it. I just have so many memories of running in there and being like, grab bear, and we just make the weird faces with them. It's so stupid though, but I mean, I must have been like 5 at the most,
Right.
like so little. And then like a general memory is like I said, we were good friends in high school, and so I just always loved that him and I were like concert buddies, and we would go to Ybor and St. Pete, and we'd go watch bands together, and we listened to a lot of the same music, and we both were kind of nerds that people would be like, oh, what kind of music do you like? And we'd both be like, you wouldn't know it, it's underground, like, you know, just like super like
Pretentious
cool for
metalheads.
school. Yeah.
Emo.
Yeah, and we would just always giggle because we'd listen to this like screamo music that my mom hated, and we used to love. There was this one band, I think it was Norma Jean. They had the first song, or one of the songs, sounded like it was like banjo, and we always thought it was funny to put it in the car when Mom was driving, because she'd be like, "Oh, where brother art thou?" Like, "Oh brother, where art thou?"
brother, where art thou?
Album, and then all of a sudden it started going blah blah blah, and we would just like crack up in the back of the car, like, got her.
Love it.
So yeah, we had like a lot of like fun going to concerts together and Village Inn after, and those like, you know, those years of my life wouldn't have been that good without him to tag along.
Aw. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree that
That's
yeah,
cute.
those were prime times for sure. Like loved
Wholesome.
going to shows and
Mhm.
like old enough to like, you know, go out on our own. We had cars and like no parental supervision, but still
Yeah.
young enough that we're kind of like stupid and naive. But
Yeah.
so one of my favorite memories always, Sarah, if it's okay to say, is a particular afternoon of manhunt in the neighborhood.
Oh. I think I remember. I know where you're going.
With a particular sponge.
Oh my god. Okay, let me just preface
I'm not going to go into
like,
graphic detail or anything.
Only brothers, and I always wanted to be level with the boys. Like,
yeah, I was going to preface
I
was going to preface that. So the thing about Sarah is Sarah's always been like, Sarah can be girly, but Sarah's always been kind of like a tomboy too. Like having two brothers, she's always wanted to do everything we can do. So if we're out fishing, she's going to bait her own hook. She's going to like clean her own fish. She's going to, you know, go skateboarding with us and climb trees and forts with us. So we were younger and we had our friends over at the house and we were playing an epic game of manhunt. And so we're like running, it's like guys versus girls, and we're all like hanging out in the yard. And at the time there was woods behind our house. And so we'd run around in the woods and wear like green clothes to like really hide. And so one time we're hanging out there and in the middle of manhunt, Sarah needs to go to the bathroom. And she's just like, well, Steve and Spencer always just pee in the woods, or they always go to the bathroom in the woods. She's like, so surely it's okay. Well, we didn't realize that Sarah, you know that term, if a bear shits in the woods. So Sarah didn't realize that we were just peeing in the woods. She wanted to be cool like me and my friends. She thought we did everything in the woods. So all of a sudden we hear like Sarah in the woods like shouting, I need toilet paper. And we're like, what? And she's like, I went to the bathroom. We're like, what did Sarah do? And Andrew runs in and he's like, dude, I think your sister pooped in the woods. She needs toilet paper.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't know where it is. And Andrew went and just grabbed a sponge from the garage. Like
it
one
was
of those
Dad's
giant
car wash sponge.
yeah, one of those giant sponges that you wash the car with. And so every like when I think of childhood, it cracks me up because it's not so much the ridiculousness of it. I just love it because it's just Sarah again wanting to just be one of the boys. She always just wanted to be like
and I want
the other brother.
You guys only peed in the woods. I pooped in the woods.
Oh my god.
You just one upped us. Good times.
This is supposed to be fondest memory, not most embarrassing story.
But what if they're one and the same though?
Yeah, I guess that can be. I guess you could look on that with like, yeah, that was a fond moment.
Yeah. I mean, we used to play in those woods all the time and build like it would flood when it rained in the ditches, and him and Andrew would build these bridges and make me test them out. That was fun. But at least I got to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not certain about my construction skills, but Sarah, here, walk across this bridge. Let us know if it holds up.
It was good. It was fun. Good times.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So Matt's next question.
Matt's next question. What did you think of each other's boyfriends/girlfriends?
Oh.
Oh, this is when it gets saucy.
Okay, Steven and I still fight to this day. He started dating one of my friends in high school. And he seems to think that they were friends before her and I were friends. And historically, that would not make sense. And we've gotten, and I won't get into it with him right now, But I think every time we hang out, it turns into an argument to this day on whether, if Jessica Desatel is watching this, please clear this information. Were you friends with me or Steven first?
My argument is she wasn't really friends with either of us. Like, okay, it's because I will go to war about this. So, like Sarah said earlier, we had a lot of mutual friends. So there was a group in the emo metal scene when we go to shows, and my band played a show at this venue. Well, there was these certain friends that Sarah was already friends with, this girl Ashley, and there was like 2 Ashleys, and they were friends with some of my friends. Well, they all came out to the show like they always do, but then they brought one of their other friends, Jessica.
I was friends with her at that time.
That neither Sarah, I, or had ever met before that night. And so that night, Sarah got introduced because obviously they were all friends. But then I also thought she was hot, so I started talking to her and flirting with her, and I got her number that night. So I just, in my memory, it was sort of like we both met her that night. It wasn't like it was one of Sarah's BFFs and I just like swooped in under the radar and started dating her friend. Like, she makes it seem like I like stole her friend out.
It was dramatic. It was dramatic. She stopped coming over to hang out with me. Instead, she came over to make out with my brother.
Oh God, that sounds very traumatic.
Yeah. Anyways, that's Steven's dating history.
I will agree to disagree.
Yeah. Our boyfriends never really came over to our house. Like, my sister and I, like, our parents got divorced, and like she stayed in Kansas and I moved to Florida my senior year. So like, honestly, I only had one boyfriend, and you know, and you had a couple. She had way more boyfriends than me. You dated Brad Arnold. Yeah. You dated Kenton. How many of your exes are gay now? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're just saying, like, she's a flipper.
I was a good beard.
She's a good beard. A flipper.
A spatula is what
a spatula is what it's called, because I flip them.
No,
right.
Wait, Amanda, was it because you were in musical theater they'd start hanging out with you and you'd introduce them to your passion, and they're like, oh my God, I love this theater?
It's because they were all already in theater, and we were just not. We were just too dumb to notice that all of the boys we used to hang out with were totally gay, and we had no idea.
I had 2 boyfriends. One in high school that is not gay now, right? Or wasn't. You're always gay because you're born that way. It's fine. But no, Teresa, you dated one person that I knew of in high school that was my friend, if you want to go to the friendship thing. And it was really weird for me because freshman year, he and I are the same grade, and Sis is 2 years behind. And I had the biggest crush on that person in 9th grade gym class. We had bowling together, and I made sure to sit next to him on the bus. I wanted to bowl with him. Like, I decided he was the bee's knees.
Everyone loved him. Everyone had a crush on him.
He was super like 90s cute, like frosted tips, like puka shells, sweater vest, Kansas. Shells.
He did wear sweater vests.
Like, he did. And JNCOs, not JNCOs, but like you know what I mean? The carpenter jeans where you could like hang a hammer, but you never had a hammer because you're
carpenter
18.
Pants.
Yeah.
The forgotten 90s trend. Yes, they have the hammer thing on it.
The hammer thing. I had a pair of overalls with that, but no. I knew him as a friend. I was a senior, I think, when you dated him, and I saw the way he treated other women, and because he was my friend, I would like kind of giggle. But this motherfucker would break up with girls by literally giving them a pink slip.
Yeah, we laugh
Piece
now.
Of shit.
But
we laugh now, but like so many girls would like come running out of the drama room crying because they are holding this fucking piece of paper, and he's laughing like a piece of shit. Like, #me too. Like, I was just glad I never dated him. But anyway, I don't think he did that to you, Sis, but like, I just didn't like him because of the way that I had seen him treat other women. So I just had to.
I remember you basically
know?
like sitting him down and having like a come to Jesus with him and be like, if you're going to date my sister, XYZ needs to happen. You literally did that. And then he told me later, he was like, your sister scared me. But the thing is, the reason I didn't have a lot of boyfriends was 100% because of you, because I think everyone was terrified to ask me on a date. And so when I moved to Florida, I got a boyfriend in like 3 days because you weren't around to fucking scare everybody. I got taken out. I got taken to the movies. I did all kinds of stuff in Florida. I was like, this is great. Like, I was getting asked on dates all the time, and I was like, well, this is great. Dated a football player.
You lost the sweater vest, so you brushed out the bangs. That's what it was.
I brushed out my bangs. I grew out my bangs. And then I moved from Kansas to Florida my senior year, and I was like the girl from Kansas, and everyone was very interested in me, and like quickly made friends, and then quickly kind of found my place, without growing up somewhere where everyone has these expectations of how you're supposed to be, especially in a place as sheltered as Kansas. It was kind of like
and small. It was a small town.
In a small town where everyone knew everyone, of course, and a lot of those people still live there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it just like, I don't know. I would not be the person I am today. I would not be in a rock band. I would not be comfortable traveling the world and like owning it on a stage if I had stayed. Like, I just kind of blossomed at that point and just started, like Steve was saying, going through your phase, like you're goth this day and you're this and that the next day or whatever and I mean, it had a lot to do with whoever I was hanging out with at the time, but a lot of my friends in high school were just like into that. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, into metal and stuff like that. And then of course, when I went to college, it changed again, and I discovered punk rock and, I don't know. I mean, I was always friends with your boyfriends until like I moved, and then I didn't really know who you were dating, and I don't know.
Well, the guy with the shaved head and a tattoo and a motorcycle, because I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to bring home a guy. Dad would make this joke. Like, I had dated one boy in junior high school. Thank you for saying his full name, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Not that many people watch this. It's fine.
He is now married. How cute is this? He is now married to a girl that we went to church with, sis.
Yeah,
and
I
like
know.
Grew up with.
Yeah.
And so she was my best friend in like 2nd, 3rd grade. And he was my first boyfriend. I feel like I brought them together to wedded bliss. So you're welcome. And I'm totally kidding, but no.
Do you know how many of our exes dated their other high school girlfriends?
Yes.
Like, do you know how many of my exes married the girl they dated right after me?
Oh, gross.
I have
gross.
a couple of them.
That's cute.
No, but it's like, yeah.
Well, some of them aren't
That's
married
happened
now,
to me like
though.
3 times. Yeah, no, not all of them are married now. I don't really keep up with all of them, so I have no idea. But a lot of the people from Kansas,
we don't have brothers.
No.
And Dad, it moved out, so we didn't have a dad living with us, right?
Nobody waiting at the door with the shotgun.
There was nobody with the shotgun, and
to tell us don't fucking date that loser.
Right. Nobody, and Mom didn't. I mean, I love Mom, but I'm sure she was probably scared of me too. I was hormonal.
No, we were good
but like
kids.
I sat those fuckers down, and I was like, look,
what are your intentions?
I will not let you hurt my sissy. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And to this day,
now I'm married to the best man in the world, so it worked out.
I'm pretty sure I put that in my speech. I don't know. Something about that
in your maid of honor speech. So the one person we haven't heard from though is Sarah's boyfriends.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So
you were trying. You thought you were gonna get out of here
very clear.
Scot-free.
Yeah, because Sarah. Here's the thing. I honestly, Sarah's college boyfriend Max is the first guy that I can say that I recognize as a boyfriend. Because like Sarah in high school, like I honestly can't say who she dated, because we'd be like, oh, don't you like Jack or something? It's like, he's cute. We like hanging out, she never really admitted to like dating anybody, and then as soon as you thought she was dating someone, she wasn't hanging out with them anymore. So it's just like I have no clue who was a legitimate boyfriend or they were just kind of hanging out, up until college when she dated Max.
I didn't talk about my crushes to you because you say something, and if Dad knew that I liked any guy, he would like say something like, why hasn't that guy come to me and asked if he has my permission to talk to you in public? And
oh God,
that's so funny.
Like my dad didn't have a son, but he was very much like by the rules of like, if I wanted a boyfriend, it was made very clear to me that this guy would have to, before he was my boyfriend or dated me, needed to ask my dad's permission in order to do that. And so I was just like, screw it. I'm not marrying him. I'm only like 18. So I'm just not going to go through that and just not make any boy my boyfriend.
Yeah, he'd have to propose to Dad first.
Yeah, like literally, I was just like, not going to do that. So yeah, like all the guys I had crushes on, I'd like hold their hands and then I'd be like, this is as far as we can go because my dad's going to get involved or my brother.
Oh.
Like like Steven would be like, oh, who are you talking to this guy? And I'd be like, the last thing I needed was for Steven to think I was dating someone. And then we'd be at the dinner table and be like, so Sarah has this boyfriend. And then Dad would wonder, and I'd have to like, they'd be like, she's lying to us because she's a liar. And it'd be trouble. So
what was it like growing up with like, two brothers?
It was chill. Spencer, when we were kids, Spencer was like the wild young one and trying to drum all the time. And I get so annoyed. And Steven, they were both pretty well behaved. They just liked their video games and their friend. They had like, Steven and Spencer had like each like a core group of friends that they hung out with all the time. Like Steven had Tommy and Ricky and Matt and Andy and all them. Spencer had his core group. And I was very like floaty.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of like, I had my school friends, my church friends, my like neighborhood friends and all that.
My friends and
our friends.
And we had a lot of mutual friends too.
But I never like Steven and I didn't go to the same high school. So like I never experienced that whole like my brother is like looking out for me. Or I mean, if anything, there was moments where Steven would offer me up to his friends for them to date me. And they took the bait though.
Hey, everybody talks about it as like being, they're like, oh, you'd want me to date your sister? And it's like, oh, you mean I would prefer for somebody that I know intimately and is a good friend of mine, I know who you are as a person, your career and everything, to date my sister as opposed to some stranger who could be a serial killer for all that? No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would rather that. But
that was your intentions. You like wanted something from them and they wouldn't give it to you, and you'd say, do you want to make out with my sister? And
I mean, I'm pretty good at like.
He basically just offered you up as a bargaining chip.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
You need my sister. My sister will go to prom with you, or yeah. What was that? Oh yeah, I feel like that was like a Frasier episode or something. Anyways,
Steven also had girlfriends though, and Steven also like, my parents were way stricter with me than they were with them with things like that. Like Steven was dating this girl from youth group, or even Jessica. Like they would come, both of his high school girlfriends, they would come over and they'd hang out in his room and sometimes even shut the door. And
that was not allowed. If your door was shut, that was not allowed.
It was coming off the hinges.
Yeah. I was not even
heavy petting.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Jesus.
Don't say that. It's so creepy. Don't say heavy petting. Creepy.
Even doing that, but the minute I like wanted, there was one Sunday that I stayed home from church sick, and his friend Andy was going to meet him at our house after church. And Andy got to our house before my family got home from church. And he knocked on the door, so I let Andy in. That was it. Andy is like a family friend. I didn't hear the end of that for like months from my parents about what did the neighbors think when they knew that I was home alone and this young boy was in the house with me, and they knew he was there.
As if the neighbors were like peering out their windows, waiting to see like what happened.
I know, and I was just like,
it's the burbs.
His girlfriend in his room with the door shut the other day. Like,
what would the neighbors think?
Too.
Your parents never struck me as like a what would the neighbors think kind of people.
Oh, really?
They're not that way about a lot of. I don't know. They're a mixed bag. They're particular about things, but then not about others.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I played everything. I played everything to a plan. Like I was very good and obedient through middle school and the early years of high school, so that in these moments, then I got to do whatever I wanted because they were just like, oh yeah, Steve's the angel kid. They're clearly not doing anything in that room.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sis, nobody was paying attention to us at our house. I mean, it was like completely the opposite. We didn't even know our neighbors, right? Like nobody was ever home.
Are you talking about a neighbor? I thought you were talking about our parents. I'm like, well, no, but you're talking about our neighbors?
No, like we didn't even know our neighbors half the time. And it wasn't like because we were like good kids, we got good grades and we never got in trouble or anything at school. Mm-hmm. They were just like, whatever, just, curfew's midnight or 8. I don't even know if we ever had a curfew. I remember prom night getting home at like fucking 4 a.m. and like nobody even asked us about it. Nobody asked us we literally stood up all night watching like Fight Club at John's basement.
Right after prom, I was the Students Against Drunk Driving secretary, and so after prom, like, so they knew like that.
And we all went to after prom. Everyone went to after
prom, which was until like what?
1 in the morning,
2 o'clock in the morning, and then we all went to a friend's house, and you're right, we watched Fight Club, and you and my boyfriend and your boyfriend, the guys that you guys were
that
like
dude that I went to prom with.
Nick, you kept pausing, huh?
Oh, I remember that prom. It wasn't my boyfriend. It was just some guy
on the side of the road.
No,
right?
He was
anyway.
Anyway, he was a friend.
Squirrel McGee.
I don't even, I'm going to sound really awful to say that I don't remember his name. Like, I don't remember who he was. I remember waiting.
So we went to prom, the 4 of us.
Yeah. That was my sophomore year. I'm talking about junior prom. I was with this other guy.
I wasn't at that prom.
Oh my God. I went with this other guy and it was so, so, so cute. And I'm sure out there somewhere he has all the prom pictures and his mom does. But like, I wanted to go with this one kid and then nobody asked me to prom. Like nobody asked me. So a couple days before prom, I was like, I think this guy asked me or maybe I asked him or whatever. I remember I finally got up the courage to ask the kid that I had a crush on, and he was like, I already have a date. And I was like massively like traumatized. But then I don't know. It was a dude. I think he was in choir with us. And like, anyway, I remember he got like a limo and he did everything. I went to his house. His mom took like 100 pictures and they were like, cute. It was so cute. And I just felt really bad because I was like, yeah, it was wicked awkward. So, cause I was like, I don't really
was in
like
college.
him.
I don't remember that. I wasn't there.
No, I guess not. So I guess I went to John's house without you. Cause was he still
because he was a senior.
He was a year above me.
He had already, we were doing that on again, off again, mostly him dumping me.
Yeah, right.
And then writing songs to make fun of me.
Anyway, I might be missing prom because we would go to his house. His mom would make like breakfast and pancakes for everybody.
Oh my God, pancakes.
After prom.
It was so good.
So we were good kids. We weren't doing anything, but it's funny that your parents were so on top of you guys. I feel like our parents were like the opposite with us. They were just like, whatever.
I was allowed to stay out later than my curfew if I was with Steven.
Oh, so that's why you guys are so close.
He was a brother.
We were really just annoying the Village Inn servers, the old ladies
God.
working after midnight, because there'd just be like 10 of us sitting at a table drinking coffee and Coke and not ordering anything and like
Smoking
tipping
cigarettes.
the quarters.
Like, ordering the flaming ding dong.
Yeah.
And then giggling the entire time.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was really more like if you watch South Park when it's the goth kids hanging out at the diner and just being super awkward and quiet, and then server's always like, "You gonna order anything?" You're like, "God, get away."
We did.
Conformist.
That's
Conformist.
definitely a theater thing, like after a show. Do you remember, sis?
Oh,
did you
yeah.
ever go to Denny's with us? It was Denny's, I think, because we did, and we had to commute to the Denny's because our sound had nothing. They have a Village Inn now, which makes me super jealous. But yeah, we would always, one person who had a job would like buy a short stack of pancakes, right? And then like we'd all eat off of like, there'd be like 12 of us though, and we would just be in our show shirts, said like musical, High School Musical or whatever, and we just thought we were the coolest, and like everyone was smoking and drinking black coffee. Like, so dumb.
It was good. We would do that after the school musicals.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
were in
Yeah.
all of them. So, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the next question?
Next question. Okay, I want to do this like firing round style. So like one word answer, don't think too hard about it, and go, right? And I'll call on each one of you individually. It's from Jedno on Patreon, of course. Thank you for supporting us. One thing you love and one thing you hate most about each other. Okay?
Oh.
So what do you love the most about it? And what do you hate the most? Okay. And I choose Amanda to go first.
Fuck you. Okay. We're basically the same person, as your husband pointed out. When we argue, we're like just yelling at each other. So if I hate something about you, it's probably about me too. But I love your talent, your passion, you're driven. I hate your diva fits, mini meltdowns.
Okay.
I know.
Fair enough.
You said not to think about it.
No. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So the one thing I love about you the most is how supportive and caring that you are to everybody in your life. And the one thing I hate about you, I don't like saying I hate this about you, but the one thing that I wish,
Maybe not hate, maybe that just irritates.
It's a little constructive criticism.
I think that you don't give yourself enough credit. And I think you need to be your own cheerleader more often. There, I said it. I think I wish you would be, that's all. And I don't hate that about you, but that's one thing.
What's the opposite of a backhanded compliment? That's a backhanded insult or something.
It's not an insult.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Hard-
If it's backhand, because if you say a backhanded compliment, you're really being snide and mean.
Right.
So
You need to
if
have
you were
more
supposed
faith in
to say
yourself.
something critical, but you ended up turning it into something nice.
I know. I'll redo mine later.
No. Okay, Steve, go.
Let's see. I would say favorite thing about Sarah is, I would say her courage. Like, I wish I was like daring like Sarah. Like, Sarah will literally do anything. It's like, hey, you want to jump out of the plane? Sure, I'll do it. You want to climb out? You want to go bungee jumping? Yeah, whatever. You want to move across the country? Like, Sarah's lived in like 3 different states on her own, like moving there, not knowing anyone. Like, I am terrified to live anywhere that I don't know somebody. And change. And then the thing that irritates me is Sarah's stubbornness. We would like get into fights all the time, and Sarah will just like dig her heels into the ground. And it's like, I swear I could pull out like a encyclopedia or a dictionary, or I'd have like the facts in front of me, and Sarah's like, no, that's not right. It's just like whatever Sarah, when we get into arguments, like whatever she thought was right, it was right, and there was no changing her mind, and it would irritate me so bad.
All
do
right.
that because I'm always right.
Like
but
the Jessica thing.
whatever.
Full circle.
Yeah. Steven I've always admired your sweetheart. You are like one of the kindest people I know. You wouldn't hurt a fly emotionally or physically. And
Because I can't catch him.
and you're just, yeah, you like kind of stay in your own lane. And you're super talented. I've always admired you for that. But what annoys the hell out of me is your lack of excitement sometimes, and your lack of speed. Like, I can just like, I'll ask you for your opinion on something, like, maybe we're doing something as a family and Steven just doesn't care, where, he has no opinion. And I'm like, I need your opinion right now so that we can move forward. And like, whatever, whatever. And then he'll like really slowly walk to whatever it is that gets decided. And it's just like, all right, Slothy McGee, like have a little more like energy, like with your decisions, your emotions, and your legs.
Fair. Hey, I did take charge on
great.
this family vacation, so it's
Yeah,
progress.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, these
I have to like just revise, sis. I love you so much. By the way, what it does bother me when you have moments where you're like just so upset is because it's usually someone who's like affecting you in a way that shouldn't, because you are so strong and independent. And so that I'm going to revise my answer. It's just that you care so much about other people and what they think, but you're a boss bitch. So
I know. It's something I'm working on, guys.
Always work on it.
Yeah, we all have
our
things
thing
to
that we work on. I think I take things too personally sometimes. Maybe that's what you mean. Like, if something goes wrong, I immediately am like, the whole world made this happen to me. Why? I must be a bad person. I go to that all the time. So you're right. I feel like if we were like talking about when we were kids, though, I could really be like, I hate how you're like, I don't know.
Oh my God, you popped your toes.
Oh my God, you hate my double toes. I have like
fucking double jointed toes,
I have
guys.
weird toes. She hates my toes.
Well, they're as long as my fingers.
Yeah, she hates my toes. Yeah. Anyway, all right, next question.
Okay, next question.
Okay, real quick before the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna just, since this has been going so well, I'm just gonna revise the outline. Let's just finish up the questions and then we'll wrap it up. So we don't need to do housekeeping. We won't do any additional questions. We'll just finish these Patreon questions.
I think we should finish the Patreon questions and just do the Patreon shout outs though, because those are our producers.
Yeah, we can do that at the wrap up at the end.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jedna, for throwing in the question.
This is still Jedno. Did your parents ever ask one of you to spy on the other? I don't think so.
Not for me.
No. Well, yeah, like not like spy. I mean, they would ask us. I feel like I would get interrogated sometimes. Like when Dad smelled the cigarette smoke in your car, and then he interrogated me. He's like, "Is Sarah smoking?" Like, I don't know. And clearly I do, because you were smoking at the show the night before or whatever. I'd get interrogated, but I don't think they'd ever.
They were never like, let me know if Sarah's smoking. Let me know when you see her smoking.
Steven never did anything wrong, so they never needed to do that.
Right. I feel like they told me to like look out for your sister. Like whenever we would go places, like keep an eye on your sister.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it'd be because you're the younger sibling, and like especially I don't know if you remember going to Summerfest when we were teens or preteens with like our aunt's friend's kid.
Yeah.
But like I got the pep talk of like, you are responsible for these young ladies and like make sure that nobody kidnaps them. And I'm like, I'm 17. Okay.
Wait, we're all getting kidnapped.
Cool. But no, I'm apparently terrifying and scare off all men. So you're welcome.
So the next question is from Doug. His question was, who is the eldest? But we already kind of covered that in the beginning introductions. Amanda's my older sibling. Steve is Sarah's older sibling. But Doug's next question was, which one spoiled Santa for the other?
My friend spoiled Santa for me.
Yeah, I actually did a good job of like keeping it to myself, because I had a friend that was a year older than me that spoiled it for me. He said something, and then I went to my parents and I was like, Ryan said this, is this true? Are you guys really Santa? Like, is it, I'm just like all like confused and whatever. And
did your parents like give it all up? Were they like, yeah?
My parents told me, because I was old enough. I don't even remember what age, but having younger siblings, like my sister and brother being younger, my parents were like, do not tell your siblings. And I actually kept it secret, because honestly, I think I kept it secret because my personality is I'm such a nostalgic person, and like Peter Pan syndrome. Like for me, like Christmas, I still love Christmas, but it's never going to be as fun as like when you're a kid and you believe in all the fantasy of it. So because I loved it so much and missed it, and it was kind of ruined for me, I didn't want to like ruin that for my sister or brother. So I would just kind of play into it.
Good brother.
I don't remember when I found out there was no Santa. Like, I have no idea. I think I just knew.
I remember
I think
when
I figured it
out.
Do you remember?
I was doing laundry with Mom in the basement. Okay. And like, remember that chalkboard that we had? Like, I was drawing on the chalkboard in the basement. It was like hung on a wall. Anyway. And I'm like, Mom, what are we, Christmas and da-da-da. And like, we weren't wealthy. I mean, our parents worked really hard, but like, Christmas was the time of year where like things were like presents everywhere, and like animals and sleeping bags and tents, like all this fun stuff every year. Christmas was like so much fun. But I feel like, I don't know if something happened where they had an unexpected expense or something, but I was like, so am I going to get whatever it was for Christmas? And Mom was like, no, Santa can't afford it this year. And I was like, wait a minute. Santa has a workshop at the North. Let me get him a 401k. Let's dip in. Like, let's do a loan. I was a banker even then. I'm like, I don't even think And she just looked at me and she goes, I'm Santa. And I was like,
oh, Jesus, Mom. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. And I was like, oh,
wow.
And I feel like she did tell me not to tell you. And I was like, well, I would never. Like, I would never figure it out, because this is devastating.
The way.
But it was great. It was actually really sweet, though, because like, it made me understand like with the world a little bit. Like,
yeah,
it didn't take the magic out of Christmas. It just made me appreciate our family even more. Like, they work really hard to make it a special day. So
yeah, I think the phrase Santa can't afford it this year milled its way around our household, and I just eventually figured it out.
I felt like you came to me and you were like, is there a Santa? And I was like, nah. You're like, yeah, I figured. And like walked away. I feel like that's how it happened.
I never, like, I kind of remember just figuring it out. I don't know. Like, I think I just knew because of the things that we would get. Like, I think I maybe was old enough to just kind of figure it out. Like, the things that we were getting was the things that we like pointed at in the store, that specifically or whatever. Or we would get gifts from people who weren't Santa a lot. And then you're just like, okay, well, maybe these are all just from people, like family members or whatnot. And we never had a chimney, so that ruined the whole fantasy for me.
Right.
I was literally like, and Dad used to tell us that Santa had a key to our house.
yes, they did that for us too.
I was gonna say there's no chimneys in Florida.
Well, that actually, you brought up a good point, because the house that we grew up in when we were younger, it did have a chimney. Like, we used it maybe once a year, because you don't need one in Florida. But our first house did have a chimney when we were real young. And it wasn't until we moved in high school or I was in high school, and my brother was 5 years younger than me. So when we moved to the new house that didn't have a chimney, that brought up the dilemma. that was like probably the first thing Spencer asked when we moved in the
How is
house.
Santa
Was just
gonna get
like,
in?
well, how's Santa gonna get in? So then it's like, oh, he's magic. He can make a key to any house kind of thing. But
like that's not creepy.
Right. Real quick though, I hope that there's nobody watching now that we just spoiled this for. Like,
I
we
thought
just
that
reveal
same
this to anybody
thing.
on the
I was like, I
stream.
hope nobody's watching with like their little kid in the room, and we just
Or you're just 30 and you still believe in Santa. You know, like if we just spoiled Santa for you, let us know in the
I
chat.
mean, I still believe in Santa. I watch the Christmas Chronicles. He's real.
Oh my god, I love the Christmas Chronicles. And oh my god. Noel
Yeah,
was adorable.
It did. I mean, I still think the hype is not as hype as when I believed Santa was real. But like what TJ said, I do appreciate the effort my parents, because my parents, they went all out on every holiday. It wasn't just Christmas. And because that was a big thing where it's like you get Christmas gifts from Santa, but it's like the same thing that's at Toys R Us, you know, and that gets confusing. So my parents, the Santa gifts were always unboxed. They were never in a box. They were unwrapped. They were just open and under the tree, because he just takes them out of his bag and puts them under there. But yeah, my parents did everything like that. Where it's
to
like
the fantasy of Santa.
Yeah, it was like after we went to bed, they went, and that's when they filled the stocking, and that's when my dad ate half the cookies and drank the milk. But it was like every single holiday, like my mom, after we went to bed, we'd leave carrots out at Easter, and they'd go break the carrots in half, and then there'd be an Easter basket. Or like even Halloween, we had a tradition, the magic pumpkin seeds. My dad would take pumpkin seeds from the jack-o'-lanterns we carved. Or no, it was because before we carved them, he had pumpkin seeds from something, and he would spray them with gold spray paint. And so he would, like, before Halloween, give each of us a gold pumpkin seed. We'd go plant it in the backyard, and then that night while we were asleep, he would go take pumpkins he bought and just like sit them right on the spot where we like planted the seeds. And then we'd wake up in the morning and we're like, holy crap, there's a pumpkin already there. And like then we go and like carve them. So like my parents are like huge into like the holiday like fantasies. So I do appreciate that effort, because it takes a lot to, like, even in my 30s, I'm just like, you know, doing anything after 10 o'clock. I'm just like, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. You gotta do it for the kids. They were good parents.
That way, I mean, that's like the most wholesome story.
I know. I mean, we had our Easter baskets. We had our little Valentine boxes.
They always did stuff for us for Valentine's Day, like always.
Yeah. Oh, I have a teddy bear from every Valentine's Day, like, or had.
Amanda still owns them because she keeps everything.
Well, I have dogs, so now they're dog toys.
It's
multi-purpose.
You gave our childhood Valentine toys to your dogs.
Well, you donated them to Goodwill.
I don't know. I did not keep a lot of stuff because I moved to Florida and I was a teenager, so I didn't keep a lot of the like childhood memento stuff that you were more able to keep, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, or you just were more interested in keeping. So
probably because I lived in a studio apartment with no storage.
You know, moving out to college and then moving out again to Tennessee and then again and again, and it's just like you just kind of lose things with every move. I have a couple boxes of like memento stuff for sure. I have childhood toys. But I just a select few. I didn't keep like everything. You know, which neither did you. I'm like, no. But you keep a lot of stuff, and it's really sweet that you do, and I'm glad that you do, because I'm like horrible at it.
Do you want me to lay on the cheese even more? Because I just remembered another element to it.
All right,
So Sarah,
let's make everyone super jealous of your wholesome family.
I know. And, what the hell, man?
So Sarah, do you remember this?
Out there?
My parents had some friends.
So
my parents had some friends at the church that were like an older couple, and the wife would babysit us sometimes, Miss Andrea. Well, her husband, we didn't really know him, like, because we'd only see him at the church, but we never really like talked to him or hung out with him. We only knew Miss Andrea because she'd come babysit us. So like before, like weeks or a month before Christmas, they would call up her husband and say that they were calling the North Pole, and our babysitter's husband, Mr. Andrea, would like talk to us on the phone as if he was Santa Claus so that we could give him our Christmas list. And he'd be like, ho, 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 is this Steven? And I'm like, yeah, Santa. And he'd be like, what do you want for Christmas? And we had no clue. We just assumed it was Santa because we had never really heard that voice. We didn't recognize it. Like if our grandpa tried it, we'd be like, oh, hey, Grandpa.
I think Mom used that, honestly, in hindsight, as a tool because we actually believed that she had the direct number to Santa Claus. So then when we were acting up, she'd be like, I'm going to call Santa. And, tell him. And we'd be like, oh, God, no.
Oh, God, we're going to miss out on her gifts.
No, she talks on the phone.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's cute. I remember we definitely wrote letters to Santa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish
we had to. We were children in America. We wrote letters.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What did
Right?
what did you address it? Just North Pole?
Santa.
I feel like
Santa.
Santa.
To Santa.
That was it.
No.
You didn't put an
never.
address, like.
No, Mom and Dad took care of that,
Yeah.
and Mom and
Yeah,
Dad
they
put
put
them
the
in the
stamp
mail.
on.
Did you guys have any good tooth fairy stories? I like, you know, kids these days get like $20 for losing a tooth. I'm like, I got like a nickel.
Quarter.
Like I got like a quarter. Yes, exactly. If it was a big tooth, you got like a 50-cent piece.
Yes,
Like
the
that your-
50-cent piece or the silver dollar.
That
or
your
something.
parents had to like go to the bank and like specially get.
Yeah, right.
By the way, everyone hates that, by the
But it
way.
was always just one coin, though. It was like never.
Right.
No, it was
just
never
cheap.
money. If it was $1, it was like maybe we got dollars. I don't know.
I think I got
we
a
got
silver
a
dollar
dollar.
once.
If you lose your last tooth, maybe that's like the dollar. Did y'all's parents keep your teeth? Because ours did. And people think that's so weird when I talk about it. And I'm like, a lot of moms keep their kids' baby teeth.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought Mom did for a little while. Like I feel like there was one
Idea.
point I saw like a little case thing that had them in there, but then
Mhm.
oh no, I kept mine in a case because my baby teeth, I had some baby teeth that like would not fall out. Like you couldn't rip them out of my mouth. They called me shark mouth because my adult teeth would start growing in behind. So I'd have like 2 rows of teeth. So I'd have to go to the dentist and they'd have to pull my teeth, the baby teeth out, and it would still have like
That
the
sucks.
root on it.
Mm.
So whenever they pulled my tooth, the dentist would like give it to me in a case to like put under my pillow
you
or
sure
whatever.
We're
So-
just a baby and didn't want to pull them out.
No, because they were still attached to the root. They would literally have to like numb it and rip the root out.
Like sit there and just pull and pull. I
Yeah.
put flop up around it and like do the twist thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
Yeah.
I was too much of a. I was too much
The
of a
ready
baby.
out.
twisting it around on that one last little bit of gum. Yeah.
I'm gonna
I have
have
dreams about my teeth
nightmares.
falling
I'm
out.
gonna have
Grandpa
nightmares about
did
my
the door
teeth falling out.
one.
So Dano on Twitch said, "My parents ripped my teeth out and threw them away immediately." And I
Oh my God.
I could just
Like,
imagine
done?
someone's mom just being like, "Come here," because I feel like mom and dad did that to us a lot. They were just like, "Give me that tooth." Like it
Give me
won't.
the tooth. Dad would.
He'd be like, he'd just grab it and just like yoink it.
No
Oh my
patience
God.
for inconsistent, like
No.
inefficient. Give me the tooth.
Give me the tooth.
Go to bed. It'd be like 4:00 in the afternoon. You're like, Dad, it's not bed. Go to bed.
Bleeding.
Ew, how weird is losing your teeth? It's such a weird thing
Ugh.
that humans do. Like lose your
So weird.
baby. Like what purpose does it serve? Like I
Is
want
it
to
any weirder though than like clipping your nails? Like your
No.
nails always grow and you gotta clip them.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's just a weird thing. It just
It
now
happens once. Like your
Yeah.
nails the time.
yeah, it's weird. Now we're all gonna
Like
like
the
sit at
human
home and
body
think
is
about our
just
teeth.
weird in
Just
general.
animals.
Because why does your head hair and your beard hair grow forever, but then the hair on your arm and stuff just stops?
I
Like,
mean,
it
my
just
beard
goes-
comes in quite nicely, Steve.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
some people don't have hair that comes on their head all the time.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
it
the
just
human
goes
body
away.
is
Just
an
stop.
enigma.
It's weird.
So Derper also said back when we were talking about Santa on Twitch, my parents hung a key that would never fit a door on our house and said Santa's magic makes the key work and he can get in. Isn't that genius?
That's cute.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
cute.
No chimneys. I like that. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because
You know,
I
one
don't have
day,
one now.
one day if we all have kids or if you got little cousins or whatever, you heard it here, folks. Santa has the key and it's a magic key. Try to use it in the door. It won't work for you.
I'll tell you.
But
The
He says
Santa-
Polish people be whack.
Oh, I love it. No, the whole Ring doorbell created an atmosphere for my nieces and nephew. Like somehow, and I don't know if this is part of the app or what, but when Addie and Avery and Hudson, those are my husband's sister's children, were little, they would like lose their minds and they would come to us on Christmas with their smartphones, right? Because I'm old and they're young, and they would be like, we saw Santa, he's real. And they would show me the clip of their Ring doorbell of when Santa came to their house. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, they
Oh
have
yeah,
proof.
those doorbells that have the camera and notify.
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's super
definitely
cute.
have one. Definitely
Oh.
have one.
I would never thought
Love
of
it.
that.
Yeah, it probably
So,
is
I mean,
on the app. Like how you know how on the news they have the Santa tracker. I still watch that
Yeah.
every year, and because I
Yeah,
think it's
I do too.
adorable. Like it's adorable, and I remember we used to watch it, and then of course they'd be like, "And he's flying over Wichita, Kansas right now," and
I'd
we'd
be like,
run
"Holy-
outside.
it's
and, like,
time for bed.
No,
Yeah,
we would
go to
run out.
bed.
We would. That's how the mainstream media got all of us children to go to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
They
The
would put the
NORAD
damn
Santa tracker.
Santa tracker on, and they're like, "Okay, go to bed, everyone."
He
And
won't come to your house if you're awake.
then we would run outside, and Dad would run out there with us, and he'd be like, there'd always be some airplane in the air that has a red
Yes.
thing on the airplane, and he'd be like, "That's Rudolph."
Oh man.
Yeah, because we lived near the Air Force Base, so there were planes all
There was
the time.
planes all the time.
But it was
Oh, that's
Rudolph.
cool.
Alrighty, so that's the end of the questions I have
Yeah.
for the siblings.
We're pretty much on time to wrap it up
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Amanda, for giving us the gift of your time and your memories. This was like super, super fun. We'll have to do a part 2 soon.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
photos.
I'll say on Discord, Matt said what an absolutely wonderful stream this one was, and thank you. So
Awesome.
Sarah and Amanda bumped us up in the ratings.
I love it. Yeah. Also, we just want to thank all of you guys out there for supporting us on our Patreon. It really helps us out. It helps us keep doing our streams, keep making music and traveling and touring and doing the things that we love. So we couldn't do it without you guys, our beloved zombies, our beloved fans. We've been a band for like almost 10 years. So it's like, it's a weird feeling to have been a band for this long, and we all know each other, obviously, friends with the family. So it's cool to like sit and talk and chat with you guys. So, do you want to give some shout outs to some of our producers? Some of
Oh
our
yeah, the
patrons?
favorites. The Nearly Dead's favorites.
They're not our favorites. Everyone.
I already said it on the other stream. It's like, we're not parents. This is the Nearly Deads, and we do have,
We
our,
have
favorites,
our
and they're the
favorites.
producer tiers on Patreon. Because all our patrons and fans are awesome, but these ones are just extra special. So shout outs to Paul, Craig, Derper, Doug, Ninja, Yaroslav, Craig, John, KNC, Patty, Bobby, and Bill Ford.
Hope you could hear that over Travis.
So that is a big brother-in-law to my sister, who might be an entertaining in-law conversation at some point.
Yeah, take care of your shit now. Talk to you later.
Is he on the
There you go.
phone? Oh, he's on the
Yes,
phone.
he's on the phone. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. Well, thank you guys so much. I think we are at a good place to wrap it up. Make sure you guys check out the Podcasket. Anywhere you guys get your podcast, we tape all of these.
Sorry.
Steve diligently edits these and makes them a wonderful podcast. So, make sure you guys are sharing the podcast every week, so that way anybody who couldn't participate can see it later. And thank you guys for participating. And if you want to be a part of the questions, definitely join our Patreon, because we're always, we take our topics from there. So anything else that you want to say, Steve, before we wrap up?
I think that's
final
it.
thoughts.
Thanks for hanging out, Sarah and Amanda.
Thanks,
had
guys.
Fun. Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
TND
guys.
Friends, Zombie Nation.
All right, everybody.
Thank you, Patreon. Thank you, zombies.
Bye. Woo!